So yeah, so she's just gonna have to do a static at the scene because of just because for some I just can't get the bus. Hey, so if you can talk, great. Like,
yeah, if they can hear me. I'm on IFB. If you can talk to me, go ahead. But this is Figueroa and Chapala. Go ahead and take your camera so it doesn't fall.
Yeah, I got it. So Tracy is got a static shot of it at right now. She can try talking, but the eye won't be able to get to it. We can try and possibly see how.
There's a Parks and Rec van that was damaged, and also a Honda. And you can see.
We're gonna push that right now.
Okay.
They can hear you. So
okay.
I'm gonna start cutting.
Do you have this shot though of that tire and the Parks and Rec? So, the person that was hit was in front of the bus here. This is on Figueroa, and this is now a pickup spot since early September because they're redoing the bus station. But this hybrid electric MTD bus went up the curb, and it appears there were two people standing there. One was fatally struck and the other is at Cottage Hospital. It looks like that tire is not flat, but it is completely turned, and the bus smashed into a Honda and also a Santa Barbara Parks and Rec van, a Ford van. And they have cordoned off this area. It's going to be closed for at least 4 hours because they're investigating this bus versus pedestrian. There were a couple people on the bus injured and a couple people off the bus injured. They called in a lot of people because they called it a mass casualty incident, but they are sending some of the fire crews away. And they have set up a Santa Barbara Police Mobile Command over on Chapala in an area that's cordoned off as well. But they are sending some fire trucks back. And at this point, they are interviewing the bus driver. We also don't know who that driver is, and we have not found out the gender or identity or age of the pedestrian that was struck and killed. But that information will come as soon as they can get it to us. But at this moment, they're just saying one person killed and one person standing right next to that person had serious injuries taken to the hospital. The other injuries are moderate to serious. That's two people on the bus, two people off the bus. There were quite a few people that went home on their own volition. They weren't hurt, and they decided not to get medical attention. There are a lot of witnesses out here because it is a bus pickup area, and there's about 20 Santa Barbara police officers interviewing them. Oh, you have something new? I can use it. I can do it on this. Yeah, but you can tape too if you want to.
No, I just wanted to give you guys a path to travel.
Oh, okay. Can I
Sure.
if I'm Facebook Living, is it okay?
That's fine.
Okay.
So the path of travel was north on Chapala, making a right turn east on Figueroa. In that sweeping turn, the bus continued to turn right, hopped the curb, and ended up where it is now. But I just wanted to be able to get you guys a path of travel.
And it appears that the victim was on that sidewalk there, or maybe in the parking lot, or we don't know.
The victim was in close proximity to the bus when they were struck,
Okay.
when the bus hopped the curb and struck the individual.
Okay. And that's a Park and Rec, and then just a regular person's Honda, I guess.
Yeah,
that's
there are multiple vehicles that came into contact with the bus.
Maybe on the other side there's some other
On the other side
damage.
there's a white Honda.
Okay.
And then
Maybe
a
four.
couple other vehicles.
Okay. Thank you so much. So that's Anthony Wagner with Santa Barbara PD just saying how the bus had made a turn from Chapala onto Figueroa heading towards State Street when it struck went up a curb and struck a person and someone standing next to that person. What we don't know is exactly where they were standing when they were hit, whether they were right on the sidewalk or closer onto the street. So there are people just keeping the scene safe while investigators get out here. There are a lot of people interviewing witnesses, maybe 20 officers interviewing 20 or so witnesses. It's a team that deals with this kind of thing. The MTD spokesperson said that they are used to picking up right here now. It started in early September because they're working on a new bus terminal, which will be done around March 2020. So this was a normal turn. Sorry. Okay, so we're looking at the MTD bus that is involved in a fatal pedestrian accident. And it went up the curb here on Figueroa after turning from Chapala. It was heading toward a bus stop here. And there were two people standing together. One of them was fatally injured. The other was taken to Cottage Hospital. And there are several cars in the parking lot 3 that were hit by the bus, including a Honda, a Santa Barbara Parks and Rec Department, and a few other cars. And police are out here and they have set up a pretty wide area where they've taped people off because they're trying to investigate so they can recreate the velocity and the measurements of this accident. They've set up a command post over behind me on Chapala. So this whole intersection is closed, and it will probably be closed for up to 4 hours, we're told. And now there are officers looking at the tire, the front left tire. They're interviewing the driver of the MTD bus as well. Again, if you're just watching this, this is the scene of a fatal bus versus pedestrian accident. There were two people standing together when the bus turned the corner from Chapala to Figueroa. One was struck and killed, the other went to the hospital. There was about 7 or 8 people on board the bus, and 2 of them had serious to moderate injuries. The other ones declined medical attention and left the area, but a lot of witnesses in the area are being questioned by police, trying to piece together how this happened and how the bus went up that red curb there. If I move, I can show you a little bit more of the tire, the front tire. So this is an MTD car with one of their officials as well, but that is where a person was struck, and you can see sort of the tire damage. It looks like the bus is sitting on a park bench as well. The park bench is just totally pitched over. It's the bench, like one of those green benches there. The bus is run right over one of those benches right there. And these officers here are just trying to keep people away. You can see that Figueroa is closed between Chapala and State. It's cordoned off, and a lot of people cannot get to their cars in parking lot 3 because of it being cordoned off, and some of them are going to come out and find out that their cars are damaged and that they're part of this investigation. But right there you see the MTD hybrid electric bus, and it is run over that bench, and then there is the victim, and they are right next to a Honda and a park and rec vehicle. So they have not removed the victim because they're still investigating this scene. There are several people who were taken to the hospital. One was standing next to the victim, and then there were 2 with moderate to serious injuries. So again, this is Chapala and Figueroa, the scene of a bus versus pedestrian fatal accident. It happened around 2. So this is the mobile command area. So Santa Barbara Police Mobile Command is doing the investigation here, and they are on Chapala setting up that new mobile unit. And they're keeping people clear. A lot of people are finding out they can't get to their cars over in parking lot 3 because they have been damaged and they aren't letting people in to the row of cars where this happened. So you can see the bus station down there on Chapala. It is under construction, so this was sort of a fairly new bus pickup spot right here on Figueroa, and there is another one up there on Chapala. They are still having bus service go forward, although it's delayed. But this is the bus involved in a fatal accident, and it definitely hit a bench there and 2 people, and they are keeping this secure because they have not removed the victim, but they have taken several other people to the hospital. 2 that were on board, 2 off, and then the person standing next to the victim who was badly injured. But most of the other injuries are moderate to serious. They have not said the victim's age or gender, and they are interviewing the bus driver. And this happened around 2 o'clock in downtown Santa Barbara. So you can see people over that way finding out that they can't necessarily get to their cars. Some of the cars they can get to, but a lot are taped off and they will have to stay there until they're done investigating. A lot of police still here. They let the firefighters go, but a lot of Santa Barbara PD are still here protecting the scene and also questioning witnesses. There's some witnesses being questioned over that way. So this bus, number 907, was going from Chapala onto Figueroa towards State Street when it went up a red curb and hit a pedestrian, another person outside the bus that were in front of the bus, and also knocked down a bench where people, a sidewalk bench. It's not clear if anyone was sitting on that bench, but they did hit several cars, including a black Honda and a Santa Barbara Parks and Recreation van. Again, if you're just watching this live stream, it's Tracy Lair with News Channel 3. I'm on the corner of Chapala and Figueroa where there's been a fatal bus accident. It happened at 2 o'clock. A bus went up a curb, and somewhere in the vicinity there were 2 people standing in front of that bus, and one was hit and struck fatally, and the other was injured and taken to Cottage Hospital. 2 people on the bus and 2 others off the bus had moderate to serious injuries. The others on the bus, maybe a handful of people, decided not to get medical attention and left on their own will. A lot of people witnessing this because it is a bus stop area, a makeshift bus stop area, because the bus station is under construction here by parking lot 3, and they're being questioned along with the driver. And it is regular procedure to do a drug and alcohol test. No one's saying that that is suspected, but that is just regular protocol. And this is what they call a mass casualty incident because of the number of injuries, so they brought out a lot of police and their mobile command unit. And nothing will move until the medical examiner and everybody gets here and does their investigation. So again, this is bus 907. It was involved in a fatal accident right near the bus station that's under construction, right at the corner of Chapala and Figueroa. The bus made a turn onto Figueroa, went up the curb, and fatally struck someone and injured another person standing next to that person. It looks like they're going to be moving some cars. So this road is closed all the way to State Street. And again, this is Chapala and Figueroa, where there was a fatal MTD bus accident around 2 o'clock. And the police have set up a command post here, and we'll be reporting live at 5, 6, and 6:30. We talked to someone from MTD and also the Santa Barbara Police Department about what happens now. Actually, I could go to you if you want.
He's good.
Okay. Oliver, I'm actually going to go move my car. I'm going to hand this to you.
Oh, no, because you can sign off now.
I can?
I have both your phones. Yeah, they were telling you to sign off.
Oh, my bad, and I'm not.
But
Okay.
I know I'm charging them.
Okay, so I'm going to just